Hello and welcome to the pascom video training series. The topic of today's tutorial is going to be teams and team management. Now, once you've set up all your users and everything, the logical thing to do is then put your users into teams, because you've got, for example, sales or accounts or whatever you may be, and you'll have some form of contact center depending on the size of your business. And so that's why we're going to have a look at teams. Matthias, what do we need to know about first?
First, you need to know the do's and don'ts.
Okay.
So what are the don'ts? Don't work with call redirections.
Very good point. Yep.
If you have the idea, let's say you have your switchboard or whatever, or your sales team, you could say if somebody dials this and that extension from outside PSTN, then this and that user is ringing.
Yep.
If this user is not there, he makes a redirection to his colleague. This colleague makes a redirection to another colleague. Then this colleague has to go to the toilet, and then he makes a redirection to the first.
Yeah, and
something like
everything gets really confusing, and
Yes.
the poor old customer who's calling you goes around in a loop and a loop and a loop and a loop and gets really annoyed.
We will detect those loops and then hang up to not destroy the system, but it's ugly.
Yeah.
And then you could argue, yeah, but this is so flexible if I use redirections. So, because then I'm not here, I can decide who is my proxy, let's say.
Yeah, who is my representative while I'm not at my desk.
Yeah. And this is handy. So I stick to redirections. But with the concepts of team, we can cover all of that. So you create a team, let's say for your sales team.
Yeah.
Then you add your members. And then you can add your members not statically, but dynamically. So they can decide, now I'm working for that team, now I don't.
Right.
So you can not only, like in a hunting group, you can just select first this one ringing, then that one ringing, then I don't know.
Yep.
This is something you can also do for sure. But in addition, a user can decide on his own, I'm now a member, I'm not a member, and how is the follow me system for me now?
Right, so very much dynamic, much more flexible around the business needs and so on. And it's more customer friendly, I would say.
Yes, maybe it sounds a little weird, but we will find out that it's relatively easy to understand.
Fair enough. Then let's get this party started. Take it away.
Yeah, we just add a team here under Teams, User, Teams. We add a team. We can choose between a queue and a call group.
Yeah, on this front, I would just basically always select queue. I mean, technologically wise, it's the same thing, but some people actually like to go call group because they think it's a hunt group or whatever. But in terms of the actual technology that's there, it's the same, it's a queue. So just select queue, and then you'll have many more options available to you for call strategies and things like that. So we were just talking about it before this tutorial. Maybe we should just get rid of the cool thing, but yeah, no.
Yes.
So
Always,
anyway,
always select the queue type of team. Then a title is needed. Support, no, we said sales.
Exactly.
We have an extension where this is reachable internally and where you can map the outgoing rule onto this team, or inbound rule of your trunk onto the team. Next. Then you have the ability to choose a call strategy. So we have a lot of call strategies in there, but the most important ones.
Yeah.
So ring all for sure.
Yes, everybody rings at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then one after the another. One after the another is unfair, because let's say you are number one, I'm number two.
Yeah.
So you will get the first call always.
Yeah, it's statically according to the order of the list, so to speak.
Yes. And there is a better one. This is the same, but you can store the last one who was on the phone.
So it's sort of memory successfully, I think we call it. And basically what it means is if I take the call on this time, the next call that comes in will go to Matthias, and then so on and so on and so on.
Again, if you're only two.
Yeah.
So you can choose a strategy.
Okay.
So that's the first one you do. Because it's so easy and all the phones will ring.
Yep.
Just select ring all for the start. Then another decision you have to make is, do you want to have music on hold or not? So depends. If you don't have music on hold, then it's a ringtone.
Yep.
Just a ringtone, or a ringtone. And if you choose the music, then you have the music. But what you have to keep in mind, if you choose music, and you directly map an extension from your trunk to your team, then the music starts immediately. So it's like you call pascom, and then there is some music. You don't know.
You want to have it a bit more professional, which we'll do in another tutorial, but you want to have like a prompt that says, hey, welcome to, and then go into the music.
So keep this in mind if you want to do something fast and you don't want to play around with prompts, then don't use music alone because it makes no sense.
Good tip there.
So we use music for sure because it's better to have a music. Then there is something, the member timeout and maximum people waiting. So first stick to the member timeout because it's, in many cases, people don't understand the member timeout.
Okay.
What does it mean? I get a call into the queue or the team. Then the queue in the team will distribute the call.
Right.
Let's say it's ring all, so you and me are ringing.
Yep.
But how long you and me are ringing?
Okay.
And that's the member timeout.
Right.
So it tries to reach us both
for say 20 seconds.
20 seconds. And then the call goes back into the queue and stays there for 5 seconds. This is a call of wrap-up time.
Okay.
And then it's redistributed again to all agents or to whatever call strategy you have for again 20 seconds. Why is this useful? By ring all, it's not very useful.
No, I was going to say, but by other strategies, it could well be. Like, for example, if you're doing one after the other, how long should it ring at the first person before it goes on to the next one?
Yes, because you cannot guarantee that you will pick up the phone. The system chooses that you are the first, then it's ringing, but you're not on your desk, and then it would ring infinite, and that's what you don't want.
Exactly, yeah.
So it goes back to the queue, then it wrap-ups, it chooses its target again, then again for the timeout.
Okay.
So that's the agent timeout. How long do I try to reach the specific agent the strategy has chosen? Right. So that's timeout. Okay. Member timeout, sorry. And then there is an advanced external timeout, internal timeout. So for internal and external caller, you can define the overall timeout. Right. This means I try to reach you for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then it goes back to the queue. The timer goes on from the complete queue or from the whole queue. The hits then, let's say, including wrap-up time, if it tries to reach you 20 seconds, it's 25 seconds. Then it tries to reach me, plus wrap-up time, then it's 50 seconds, and so on and so forth. And then it tries to reach you again until the overall timeout
is reached. And basically that overall timeout is the length of time that caller is in the queue before he gets then onto voicemail or somewhere else.
Sounds complicated, but if you get your head around it, it's easy, and it's logical that you have to do this, because otherwise a queue would just not
It'd end up getting filled and filled and filled and filled, and no one would ever leave, basically. Well, our settings would make people leave eventually, but...
somewhere, yes.
Yeah, somewhere.
And why is this an advanced setting? Normally you don't touch this because you say, if somebody's in a queue, it will ring forever. So that's why it's an advanced setting. But the member timeout you should set in any case. Right. Because otherwise the queue does not work properly if it gets filled up. Okay. So a good setup, let's say, is 20 seconds, then it redistributes the calls. Here you can say maximum number of people waiting. Let's say if there are more than 5 waiting, then we are full. And we have a strategy for our call routing. We can do something before the queue, like prompts, and after the queue. We covered this in another tutorial. So now we focus on the queue. And if the queue is full, it goes directly to things we do.
Whatever you've decided for after the queue.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it, basically. Settings you can do. There are a lot of more settings we have. We can do skill-based routing. We can prioritize calls. One call can overtake the other one, and so on and so forth. But for a basic setup, that's it.
So now we've got the basic setup of the team or the queue. The next thing we need to do is bring our users into the queue. So how do we do that?
That's easy. Go to the Members tab.
Oh, very easy.
Boom, boom. And the only thing you have to know is dynamic no or dynamic yes. We start with dynamic yes, so people can choose, or our 2 members can choose if they want to join the team or not, if they want to get calls in the team or not. We save that. For sure, don't forget to apply. And then how does this look like? So this was very virtual now, but in the client we can see this properly. One important thing is if you change something which is tied to access rights. Access rights are synchronized from time to time, and you have to wait, but you can speed up processes if you just go to log out and log in again. Then you are sure that immediately you get the sync of all the access rights. So this is just a little hint to be sure that you have the same in the client than you have configured on the server. Now you can see our team here. And if I click on the team, I can make this bigger also. If you click on the team, you see we have 2 agents, but they are all logged out. So if somebody would call this team, he would hear music because we decided he hears music.
Yep, exactly.
It would try to find a member. It wouldn't find the member. And then he would stay forever in the queue.
Because we didn't set the maximum timeout for the queue. Right, gotcha.
What can I do now? Now I can say, I want to work for the team. Now I can use this plus icon. And now I'm logged in. And my colleague James can see easily that I'm logged in now, that I can take calls now. So this is how you can organize this. Because in many teams, not all team members answer calls because they want to work on a topic and maybe 1 or 2 of the team are taking the calls and say, yeah, and he's on the phone right now and whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
So you can organize this in that way. And for sure, you can be a member of how many teams you like.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, for example, if you've got a contact center of any sort, you've got your sales account manager, because we said sales, you've got your guys who do the constant telephony work, and then you have your account managers who are working on accounts, projects, and so on. They're not going to answer every call.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important that you have a good call strategy, and also you can let people log in and out so you can always cover all scenarios dynamically on the fly as needs be, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's the basic magic of the team, and that's the basic functionality. Again, what you have to know is that you can have dynamic members.
Yep.
Don't use redirections, instead use the dynamic members, and that you understand the agent timeout.
Yeah.
If you did this, then
there's a few tips there for you. Yeah, if you've got any questions, join us for the bootcamp on Thursdays, where we can just quickly fly with this again if needs be. But I think that sums up everything really nicely. So join us again for the next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
See you.